Hey Aaron, I heard the news from Liam. Is it really true? Did you really go and look for venues for your wedding? It's true. We went to look at some place together last week. It's so exciting now that we can finally start making solid plans for the wedding. And you think that you can get away with doing all this by yourself? I don't even remember giving your permission to marry my son. Who are you to act this way? Well, I'm very, very sorry that you feel that way, Susan. But even your husband approves of Liam and I getting married. And he told me he didn't have any problem if we started making concrete plans for our wedding. Well, my husband may have given you the go-ahead, but I haven't. So what are you trying to pull getting married when you don't have my permission to? But it isn't just your husband, you know. I feel like I've met most of your family by now, and they were all very excited to hear that Liam and I had gotten engaged. I got all kinds of messages from so many different people on your side of the family. You have got to be kidding me. Are you seriously trying to use my own family against me like this? How dare you put words into their mouths? I don't really think that I'm doing anything like that at all. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would any of my family approve of you marrying Liam? I don't get it. Well, I suppose that they just saw how happy we make each other and wanted to help us celebrate. What I'm more curious is about why you're so against Liam and I getting married. You're the only that seems to be so against it happening, and I just can't understand why. I don't care what you say to me. It isn't going to make me change my mind one bit. But I'm only asking why. I just wanted to understand why you feel this way. I've never tried to tell you to change your mind, but I just want to understand what the reason is that you think Liam and I shouldn't be getting together. Can't you at least tell me? Fine. You want to know why? It's because you're not good enough to be with my son. I understand that you feel that way, but you're still not telling me why. Do you have any reasons for why you feel this way about me? I heard that your father works in sanitation. I hear he even owns his own cleaning company. Yes, that's right, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. Well, everyone knows that a cleaning is a job for people who couldn't figure out how to get a better job. It's a job people do because no one else wants to do it. That's true, but you do realize how that creates a demand for cleaning services to exist, right? That's one of the reasons why my dad's company has been so successful, actually. I don't care how much success you think your dad has. There's no way that a company like that can ever amount to anything much. Which means that you and your whole family are just lowly little bottom feeders. And that's why I can't have some little nobody like you marrying my son. You'll spoil our gene pool with your disgusting poverty. I get that maybe back in your day it was more okay to judge someone just because of their work, but surely we've moved past that in the modern day and can understand that a job doesn't define someone, right? My dad used the profits he made from his company to take care of my family, and I think it's respectable that he chooses to do the work that no one else wants to. I really respect my dad for all that he does for me. Well, I think that's really weird, and it doesn't make any sense at all to me. You do know that even your husband has good things to say about my dad, right? He says that he thinks it's great my dad was able to start up his company from scratch and keep it going today. You think my husband respects your dad? Now I know that you're just being ridiculous. Why would any sensible person have a modicum of respect for someone like your dad? Of course I'm much more clever than my idiot husband, and for that reason, your little tricks aren't going to work on me. You still haven't changed my mind. I already told you that I'm not trying to change your mind at all. I'm sorry that you don't approve of Liam and I being together, but we're not going to break up because of it. And I know that Liam feels the same way and doesn't want to end things with me either. No, that can't be right. It's unacceptable. Why would my son make such a stupid decision? How could he do that? Maybe if you were pretty, then I would understand it, but you're not even all that good looking. Well, I agree with you there. I wouldn't call myself beautiful. But the matter of fact is that Liam and I are in love with each other, and that's enough for me. We're going to live together and be happily married, and we're not going to let you come between us. You think you can just ignore what I'm saying so easily? I know that you're just pretending to care about Liam. You know that no one would ever want you, so you're trying to trap my son into marrying you. But I'm not so easily fooled. I see right through you, and I can see that you have your claws deep in my son, and you're not going to let go without a fight. Susan, I really wish there was some way that I could show you that I'm not the kind of person that you think I am, and I don't appreciate the way that you're talking about Liam and I. Maybe you'll realize you can do this when you're earlier. But it's a little thing called woman's intuition, and my gut is telling me that I can't let my son end up with a woman like you. Hey Susan, I'm not saying this to upset you, but I think you should know that Liam and I set the date for our wedding and found a venue to have at it. I hear that it's not going to be happening for another 6 months or so, is that right? You already put down the payments and everything too, right? Don't think this means that you can start calling me your mother-in-law, but I suppose this means that there really is no going back from this point now, is there? I'm afraid not. The wedding is going to happen, and nothing is going to stop it from doing so now. I don't even know what to do with you anymore. But I just want to repeat that even your husband gave me the green light to go ahead with the wedding planning. He told me not to worry about you and plan it how we wanted. That's why we wanted to pick a quick date. You don't need to tell me that. I've already heard it all from him too. Apparently, he's worried about Liam and got upset with me the other night and told me he gave you his blessings. I can't believe how quickly I get betrayed by the likes of you all. I'm just stating my opinion and I'm being attacked for it. I don't think that anyone is attacking you for what you're saying, but we're just letting you know that it isn't going to affect the decision making. Anyways, we wanted you to have the wedding as soon as we could manage because my grandma is quite sick. I'm not sure how much longer she has, so I want her to get to see me in my wedding dress before she's gone. That's why we decided that we just couldn't wait around for you to change your mind anymore. I already told you that nothing you said was going to change my mind, didn't I? But I hope you realize that getting married like this just makes you a terrible daughter-in-law. I really do wish that I could do something to even just convince you slightly, but at this rate, the wedding is going to happen when it happens. I hope that you can continue to work on our relationship in the future, but I just couldn't put off having the wedding anymore. Don't you go trying to pretend like you're the good guy in all of this. You do realize it's your fault that my family is falling apart this way, right? My entire family is split on the issue of whether or not we should even be having this marriage since I don't approve of you. And by that I mean that it's me against everyone else, but I'm not going to back down. I won't be silenced. I have rights. I can say no if I want to. Susan, no one is trying to rob you of your opinion on the matter, and I'm really sorry that you see it that way. If you're really sorry, then you'd realize that you're to blame and just leave my son. Can't you see that you're tearing my family apart? I'm afraid that isn't going to happen. Liam and I are going to get married, and that is that. The wedding is going to happen whether or not you approve of it, and I want you to understand that. So please, can you just stop putting up this pointless resistance and come to grips with this? If not for my sake, then for your family's at least. I wouldn't count on that happening if I were you. You can come begging and pleading to me all you want. It still isn't going to change my mind one bit. Nothing I say is going to change the outcome either way. So what's the point? All right then, if that's how you really feel about it. Why are you even bothering to talk to me if you know that you're not going to change your mind and I'm not going to change mine? Well, I suppose it's just not my place to know what goes on in that head of yours. I hope that in spite of all this that we can still count on you being there at the wedding. Of course I'm going to be at the wedding. You think I'm not going to be standing by my son in his big day? Just how much worse do you think it would make Liam feel if he had to get married without his mother there? I was never not going to be there. Well, that's a relief to hear at the very least. Thank you so much for telling me that. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the big day. I think that we picked a really beautiful place to get married. The food is going to be delicious, and the decorations are going to be gorgeous, so I really hope that you'll be able to enjoy the ceremony. Oh, please. I'm not going to the wedding to have fun. I'm going because I'm a good mother who understands the role she needs to play. I'm just sick and tired of fighting with my husband at this point. That's completely understandable too. I really hope that I can gain your trust in the future, but otherwise, I'll see you in 6 months for the wedding. Erin, you answer the phone this instant. Just what is going on here, huh? What's the meaning of all this? I'm sorry I couldn't pick up the phone when you called. I was in the shower. Is everything okay? What's going on? I need you to calm down and just listen to me. Oh, right. I've calmed down now. What's the matter, Susan? I'm afraid that the wedding has been cancelled. Something's just awful has happened. The wedding is cancelled? Sorry, this is the first time hearing of this. What do you mean by that? I mean that Liam, my sweet baby boy, he's dead. Which means that you won't be able to marry him, of course. I'm so sorry that things had to happen this way. But sometimes life is just like that. So anyways, he won't be able to make it to the wedding today because he's dead. Wait, are you serious? You really expect me to believe that? And just what is so funny about my son being dead? This isn't a joke, you little psycho. I'm telling the truth. I know that you weren't trying to tell that as a joke. Don't worry. Well then, just what are you laughing after I've told you that my son has died? I mean, what kind of way is that to react to a news of your fiance's death? It doesn't make sense. Well, I just mean, Susan, what on earth are you even talking about? We literally got married yesterday, and Liam and I are on our way to the honeymoon now. Wait, the wedding was yesterday? But that can't happen. I thought that it was supposed to be today. Nope, sorry, the wedding was yesterday, so we're already husband and wife, and I'm here with Liam, who is very much still alive right now. Are you sure you're not mixing up his death with someone else's? But I thought the wedding was happening today. That's what both my husband and Liam told me. They told me it was happening today. Well, that's weird because your husband was very much at the wedding yesterday. Oh, but now that I think about it, he was out all day long yesterday, but I never would have guessed that he was going to your wedding by himself. Well, I think that's what he must have been doing because he was there with us the whole time yesterday, and the wedding was just great, in case you were wondering. I don't get it though. How did I get the wrong dates? Did you really guys just conspire to try and keep me away from the wedding? What is this, middle school? I think we just thought that you would bring down the whole mood if you were there, you know? And just, what is that supposed to mean? If anything, not having the mother of the groom there ruined the whole thing, right? No, actually, I think you not being there put a lot of people at ease, actually. I think just about everyone there was hoping that you weren't going to show up. But that can't be right. That isn't fair. You won't get away with this. None of you. Not Liam. Not my husband. Not my family. None of you are safe. Well, I'm afraid to say that we all had a great time without you, and I was thinking a really nice wedding. Basically, everyone agreed to just not to tell you the correct date so that you wouldn't be there. You can't be serious. You're horrible, you know? I've never met someone as awful as you. How could you do this to your mother-in-law? I'm sorry, but wasn't it you who told me not to even call you my mother-in-law? How did you even come up with something so cruel? You told me that you were glad that I was going to be there. And I really did mean what I said when I said it. But a few days after that, I got a call from your husband and he said that he thought you were trying to plan something to ruin the wedding. Liam, him, and I all talked and we agreed that if that was the case, it should be better to just keep you away from the whole thing. I'm just sorry that we had to resort to such extreme tactics to deal with you. You mean that my own husband was the one who came up with this little scheme? He did this to me? I don't believe it. He actually read your diary and found all your proposals that you had come up with for possible ways to ruin the wedding, or ideas of how you could get Liam to want to leave me. There were some really creative ones in there too. I was pretty surprised when I heard some of them, to be honest. So in the end, we really just had no choice to do this. How can you say that you had no choice? Just give me my son back, you evil woman! I'm sorry, but I don't think that your son wants to have you. If anything, all you've done is push him away from you. He doesn't want anything to do with you at all. I think he's just ashamed to have you as the family at that point. You mean he's just going to try and cut me out his life? He can't do that to me. I'm his mother. He told me that he doesn't want you to come anywhere near ever again. No matter where I go, if I'm there, he doesn't want you to be there. But he can't just do that. He can't make up something restraining order against me. What if you go to some family reunion or something? I'm just not supposed to show up at all? That isn't fair at all. Why shouldn't I get to go? Why, Susan? If you're really looking for an answer to that question, I think you need to look in the mirror. I didn't do anything bad to you and was always trying to extend the olive branch. You were the one who refused to even try and meet me halfway or understand where I was coming from. Put my son on the phone right now. I want to talk to Liam this second. I thought I already told you that we're busy being away on our honeymoon, didn't I? Can you please just leave us alone, Susan? I think we've already been over all the ways that you've been pushing your family apart. If your husband wants to leave you, that makes perfect sense to me. He has the whole world gone crazy or something. Why is everyone trying to throw me out like I'm some kind of vagrant? Well, I'm not going to speak for everyone, so maybe you should be bothering your relatives about this. I've tried asking my husband what is it that I did wrong, and he just won't answer me. He's totally ignoring me. Can you believe it? I even tried calling other family members, and they all ignore me. Why is everyone being so mean to me when I didn't even do anything? Are you all having fun? Is this some kind of game? We're not having fun. Everyone is quite sad about having to do this, but you're really doing it yourself. How is that supposed to work? You're terrible. You're just awful. This is all your fault. I know that I was right about you. You're just an awful, horrible woman. Well, I understand how you feel about me, but now Liam and I are married, you should know that I feel the same way about you. The only reason you gave me was why we should be together was completely heinous and rude. It wasn't any of those things. It really is so wrong for me not to want my son to end up with the daughter of a janitor. There you go again. That's the only reason that you've given me for not marrying your son the entire time that I've known you. But is this reason you hate me so much really something as simple as that? You wrote in your diary that I stole your son away from you. I think you're just upset over the fact that your little boy is grown up and wants to live his own life. You read my diary? No, I didn't, but like I said, your husband did, and he told me some of the things that you wrote in there, especially the parts that concerned me. I understand that the feeling of losing your son might be hard, but I hardly stole him away from you. He's an adult who fell in love with me, and I fell in love with him. Why can't you recognize that our feelings are real? Oh, shut up, would you? My son is my whole world, and you think you can snatch him up for me? What is the plan here? For your son to never marry anyone and stay at home for the rest of his life? I'm sorry, but I think you might have an unhealthy fixation with Liam, and I think it's better if you both spend some time apart. How dare you talk to me like that, you little brat? Even your husband thinks so. And it's what Liam wants to do. Now, if you don't have anything more to say to me that isn't rude, I would like to go back to enjoying my honeymoon. After that, I heard that Susan did end up getting divorced. She ended up traveling all the way back to her hometown, hoping that her distant relatives there would take her in, but the only family that was left there lived deep in the mountains in an old run-down house. Susan only had her savings and pension money to help her get through, but living in such conditions must really be taking a toll on her mental health, or at least her ex-husband seems to think. Especially being so far from Liam, I'm sure she isn't having fun. But as far as I'm concerned, the more distance put between Susan and I, the better. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.